Hello, good morning. And after some of the rough and ready vulgarity of this programme in recent weeks, we can promise you this morning an altogether different sort of Tiswas. I think we've managed to eliminate and in fact silence, the areas that were giving us the most problems. I think this morning we can promise you an altogether more dignified, more elevated sort of Tiswas programme. We'll be talking to one of Britain's top matchbox collectors. He's got 18,000 from all over the world. We'll be talking to Barbara Castle about the state of the green pound and how it could affect the British economy. We'll be looking at a new exhibition of marvellous paintings that opened this morning at the Tate Gallery. And we'll be running the whole of last night's marvellous concert from the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra at the Albert Hall. What? You don't want a concert from the Albert Hall? You couldn't care less about what's in the Tate? You don't want to meet Barbara Castle? You don't want to know about the green pound? No interest in matchbox? What do you want? Oh, no!
Nation.
I don't know, I've managed for about 6 years. Why should I change this one? I'll say a very quick happy birthday to Dean Lister, who's 11 tomorrow, and also happy birthday to Jeremy Allard of Cheltenham, and also good morning to James and Carolyn Lambert from Norton Lindsay, I can't even say it, whose father found me in a hedge the other evening. Thank you very much indeed. Good morning.
Oh, I won't go into that one. Let me tell you that on the show this morning we'll be welcoming Amy Stewart a little bit later on. Elvis Costello will also be here, and Rainbow's drummer Cozy Powell, and he's got a rather super prize that he'll be giving away a little later this morning.
That's right. We'll also be telling you the true story of Dick Turpin, actually, who was a romantic hero. But in actual fact, you'll find he's not quite as nice as you thought he was.
And there's music from Skids and Matchbox, there's Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck.
And Twitty Pie.
Yeah, we must actually make today a big thank you to all the readers of the Record Mirror. They've had a readers poll, and they have actually voted Tiswas as their eighth favourite TV show. But if we're going to have a close-up of actually the other TV shows that are mentioned there, and you can see we're in with such luminaries as
Old Grey Whistletest, 40 Towers, Kenny Everett, Soap, MASH, Star Trek, Number 8 Tiswas, not the 9 o'clock news number 9, and Shoestring 10. That's brilliant.
So, thank you very much to all those readers who actually voted for us. Thank you, nice people, eh?
Well, OK, let's move on. As we said, we've got Elvis Costello, we've got Amy Stewart coming, we've got Cozy Powell, but here he is. We spent a tremendous amount of money, I must admit that, getting him across the Atlantic, but here he is. This is it. This is the big one. Here's from Los Angeles. Here's the biggie. It's the biggie.
Where is he, Chris? You said he'd be here by now. We spent thousands of pounds on the airfare.
I'm sorry, he hasn't turned up.
Well, I'm sorry about this.
I've looked everywhere. I don't.
We
can't bring you.
I've looked everywhere.
Sure he's not.
No, he's not here.
Daffy
Definitely not here. No biggie.
We said Elvis Costello joining us later. Amy Stewart.
No, not now, Bob.
And also Bob Blackman will be coming in later on, giving us his rendition of Mule Train when he beats himself over the head with a tin tray. Right, so if you remember, every week one of the things we do set to you is a family quiz, and we try and give you the answer about 12:30. Have a little look at this week's family quiz. An unhappy boy went into a cafe asking for a glass of water, although he wasn't thirsty. The cafe owner bent down under the counter and then suddenly popped up again wearing a terrifying mask of work graphics and let out a blood-curdling scream. Blah! The boy paused, said thank you ever so much and left the shop.
Puzzling,
right.
eh?
Think about that. We'll tell you the answer about 29 3/4 minutes past 12. What's the answer?
OK.
OK, why did he go into the shop feeling wanting a drink of water, though he wasn't thirsty, the cafe owner bent down under the counter and suddenly popped up again wearing a terrifying mask and letting out a blood-curdling scream. Ah! The boy paused, said thank you very much, and left the shop. Right. Why did he do that?
OK, well, you can work that one out
A brain
during the morning.
teaser.
But last week, I said a
Because he was
couple
a
of
loony.
competitions, and I asked you, in fact, to name 5 Diana Ross hits, and the winner would receive this rather nice picture.
She had 5 hits.
Isn't it lovely? And also a copy of the Diana Ross 20 Golden Grapes. Too many hits she's had to mention them all. So
Just
let me
JP.
dive into here to get one card out. And the winner, oh, the suspense, eh, is from Angela Bonar, who's 13 years old, who comes from Glasgow in Scotland. We also had a competition last week to win 3 signed Pretenders albums. And I wrote in asking you what was the Pretenders' first hit single. It was
Right.
Stop Your Sobbing.
I'm just testing.
First 3 people who wrote in telling us
change all
that,
that.
and who win the signed Pretenders albums are Simon Bishop from Pimlico in London, Dawn Coates from Waterloo in Liverpool, and Ben Parker from Oxford. Well done to you
Great.
lot. Signed album.
It's taken broadcasting to a
What's
new
this?
peak.
Massively.
It's from Ivan Truncheon, the head of security. It says there is a person loose in the building who is giving off offensive odours called smello. Under no circumstances must he go into a television studio. Well, thank you very much. I wonder who that can be.
Oh, luckily I've got a pen here. I think we'll move on very quickly. And it's competition time now. Oh, competition time now. So pencils and papers ready for those of you who are
dear.
under 8. Oh. Luckily, I have about my person an aerosol. Oh, I've never smelled anything like it. Anyway,
Oh, you have.
under 8s, right? Pencils and papers.
Keep
boys.
broadcasting, James.
Because we're going to show you a clip from Walt Disney's
Oh,
incredible
dear.
journey, and we want you to answer these 3 questions. First of all, what does... Well, let me just tell you, you're going to see 2 dogs and a cat, right? First question is, what does the one dog chase?
That is
Awful.
the bloke in the stocks. At least we can move. You're in the stocks all morning.
Secondly, what does the hermit have on his hat? What does the hermit have on his hat? And thirdly, what do the animals cross to join the hermit? OK? Watch very carefully this scene from Walt
this
Disney's
is
incredible
smelly
journey.
vision.
I'm off. Ugh.
You stay here,
After 10 days on the trail, the animals were weak with hunger and had begun to get discouraged, even the determined young leader. By now, they were ready to stalk any kind of wild game they could find. The cat, of course, was a natural hunter, but the dogs were ready to try too, though neither of them was a true hunting breed. Chasing rabbits was a bit strenuous for the old terrier, and instead he rested. Then suddenly he heard singing. It was old Jeremy the hermit, recluse and philosopher. Slightly odd, people said, but kindly and very friendly to animals.
Oh, good day to you.
Old Jeremy lived close to nature, in a world of his own. His friends, the wild creatures of the forest. Instinctively, Bodger felt this was a man who might help them.
Well, the incredible journey there, and the 3 questions we want you to answer are, first of all, what does the one dog chase? What does the one dog chase? What does the hermit have on his hat? What does the hermit have on his hat? And what do the animals cross to join the hermit? What do the animals cross to join the hermit?
Entries to our usual address. On a postcard only, please. Well, it's just this terrible smell, you see. On a postcard only, please. And if you've got a phone number, please pop that one on as well. Here we are, nearly ready with the address. It's Tiswas, ATV Land. Go on, Chris, keep going. Birmingham. Keep going. While he's doing this, I must actually just welcome all the new viewers in Westwood and Channel who've joined us today. Hello. Hope you're enjoying it so far. There we are. B1 wrong. That should be 2JP.
2JP. Here's Matchbox. Buzz, and it's the new single from Matchbox. But now a very special guest. Don't forget, of course, Amy Stewart and Elvis Costello and Cozy Powell all joining us this morning. A very busy morning here on Tiswas, but very special guest. I've wanted to meet him for many, many years. A great favourite of mine. He's been working a really long, long time. One of the great impressionists of all time. He's delighted us for years with his animal barks and his bird songs. Here he is, that master of mimicry, Mr. Percy Edwards.
Percy.
Hey? What? Oh. Oh. Well, I'm sorry about that. Apparently, outside the studio, Percy was just clearing the throat, practising being a wood pigeon, in fact, and somebody shot him. Nevertheless, I feel sure that Percy would have wanted... I feel sure Percy would have wanted to be here. Well, thank you very much indeed, Percy, for coming in, and best of luck.
Sad, isn't it?
Right, well, let's move on. You've asked for him week after week. By golly, by jingo, you're going to see him. Here's Spit the Dog. Yabba dabba.
There he is, my little lad, Spit. And, what, was that you? No. Spit, actually, he's been getting very, very interested in astrology and birth signs, and I was very pleased to receive an advance copy of a book called Astrology for Dogs, which will be out, I believe, next month on the market. And he's been reading his own birth sign from this and telling himself all about himself, haven't you, Spit? And, that's right. And I thought we'd take an advancement from this and we'd actually take him to meet a fortune teller. And today we're very lucky to have brought into the studio a well-known fortune teller, Madame Smarty Gorman. And so we'll go and see Madame now if she's ready. Excuse me, Madame. How do you do? I wondered if you could tell me the fortune of my little dog Spit.
Yes, but first you have to cross my palm with gold.
I thought it was silver.
That gold at £300 an ounce?
That's a fortune. That's a fortune.
Yes, but I'm a fortune teller. What is your dog's sign?
Sagittarius.
Sit down.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew it.
Is that a sign?
Yes, it's a sign it wasn't put up properly. Yes, your sign...
Excuse me, I think your ball needs cleaning.
Your sign is the moon. But Pluto is going through it at the moment. So far, you've had a rough life. But you've always been a bit of a wag. Yes, you've tended to play a supporting role, and you feel your orders being used, but you'll come to no harm. What? Mr. Clearing, you tend to chase after things you've always really wanted, but you can't really help it. You must be on the alert, which will give you a promising lead for the future. I see you appearing at the Golden Garter Withenshaw all next week.
That's right, that's right.
But don't worry about it. Wait. Yes, in your life you will shortly meet a tall, dark stranger who will give you a surprise. Not me, you fool, the dog!
Bob Carroll G.
I never...
Oh, welcome back. What a morning, eh? I must say, I feel a bit scruffy this morning, do you? On the contrary, I'm well dressed, nicely mannered, and really rather elegant. People say to me I look like a dung heap at a compost corner. Compost corner! I'm smart, clean, and not half-witty. Well, people tell me I'm smart, clean, and not half-witty. No, they say you're a smarty pants, clean off your head, and half-witted. You see, I'm educated. People say of me, he's educated. No, they say he's educated. I'm so clever, I work in the media. I work in the Midlands. Girls throw themselves at my feet. Nobody goes anywhere near my feet. People say I've got an honest face. People come up to me and say, honest, is that your face? Because I'm smooth, oozing charm and intelligence, I work in television. Well, so do I. I'm a presenter and producer. That's what I do. Well, how do you keep your job looking so scruffy? Well, it's funny, actually, because every time I appear on television, somebody up there pulls a rope and that happens. It's much better, apparently. It's what people want. Are you quite sure?
And now, by the miracle of the cathode ray tube, we bring you one of Sally James's almost legendary pub interviews.
There's so many fish in the sea, but only rise up in the sweat and smoke like mercury. But they keep you hanging on. They say you're so young, your mind is made up, but your math is undone. Accidents will happen, you're always hit and run. Used to be a victim, now you're not the only one. Accidents will happen, you're always hit and run. I don't wanna hear it 'cause I know what I've done. And it's the damage that we do and never know. It's the words that we don't say that scare me so. There's so many people to see, so many people you can check upon and add to your collection, but they keep you hanging on until you well hung. Your mouth is made up, but your mind is undone. Accidents will happen, we're all hit and run. It used to be a victim, now you're not the only one. Accidents will happen, we're all hit and run. I don't wanna hear it 'cause I know what I've
I wish you at home actually could have seen what was happening in the studio during Accidents Will Happen. Elvis literally arrived 30 seconds ago, didn't you?
Yeah, courtesy of British Rail.
Yeah,
as
anyway,
usual.
at last you're here. That's really great. Nice to see you. And Elvis, that was a hit from last year, Accidents Will Happen. You've been relatively quiet on the record front for the last year. What have you been up to?
Well, we took a bit of a rest. We were pretty exhausted, and we'd been touring for a couple of years, so we decided that we'd take a little holiday. And then we got back in the swing of things towards the end of the sort of summer.
Yeah.
And we've been doing some recording, and I did a bit of production.
Yes, you were producing the specials, weren't you?
Yeah.
How did you get involved with them?
Well, basically, I was a fan of the group, you know, and I went to see them several times. And I was kind of afraid that they might get landed with a producer, you know, a professional producer, unlike a guy like me who doesn't know what he was doing, and sort of like ruin their sound. Whereas, as none of us knew what we were doing in the studio, it was much easier to do it by committee, and you know, I could talk with them, and I understood what they wanted to do, and gradually I learnt what some of the knobs did on the board.
Would you eventually produce yourself, do you think, or would it stay
No,
a
I
bit
think
low?
it would be a bit difficult having done it, you know, with somebody else. I think it would be very difficult to do the two things.
It's difficult to be objective if you're
Yeah,
sort of
yeah. I
subjective.
did try to do one
Yeah.
track with the group while Nick Lowe was in a rest home, and it didn't really work out. You know, the others were all muttering behind me.
Elvis, I know you're actually going off to New Zealand for one day to do a gig. That does seem slightly an amazing thing to do. Why are you just going for one day?
Well, we kept putting them off and saying we didn't want to go, and they were really keen for us to go there, and because it's some kind of festival they've got out there. And normally we don't do festivals, and we played Australia, and we weren't able to get to New Zealand while we were out there, and we wanted to play New Zealand. There'd been some interest, and we thought it was a good opportunity to play to quite a lot of people all at one go, and they were so keen to have us out there. I think it's only us and then New Zealand bands.
So, I mean, it's going to take you longer to travel there and back than actually...
Well, we're actually going to take a bit more time than necessary because none of us are very keen on long flights, and I'm not keen on being in any kind of aeroplane.
What happens after that? British tour?
Well, I haven't got anything specific to say right at the moment. I would say that we should visit every town in the country by the end of the year.
Oh, good. Well, that would be lovely. Now, Elvis, you were talking that you were back in the studio towards the end of last year. So let's now hear one of those songs that you've been working on. It's called I Can't Stand Up. Thank you very much for getting here in time.
Yeah,
it's lovely, super.
Sorry, nice to see you again. Cut it a bit far this morning, but well worth waiting for Elvis. Listen, last week we set this sort of new world record of how many buckets of water you can throw over someone in a cage in 30 seconds. Fancy having a go?
Yeah,
I set this world record of 16 last week. Come on then, El.
Feeling fit?
We've got a cage. We've got a very strong chance. We do have a cage over here. They're a fairly ugly cross-section, but I think... are we ready with the clock? Right, you've got the buckets there. I set a world record last week of 16, which I think will take some beating. Mind you, it was actually wind-assisted last week. Right. When the whistle goes, start the clock. OK, Elvis, take it away.
You gotta keep going.
Hopefully.
That's how you do it. Delivery. Just try it. Do it properly. Try it properly.
Great. More cartoons later. I must actually just tell you that one of our special guests next week will be England's most expensive footballer, Wolverhampton Wanderers' Andy Gray. So we look forward to having him on the show next week. I must actually say a couple of quick birthdays. A happy 9th birthday today to Darryl Cayford of Worcestershire, and a special hello to Simon and Lucy Harrison of Standish near Wigan.
Good morning.
Hello to you, lot. Are you okay? Where have you been? It's a bit late, Chris. Right. Shall we do last week's Eights and Overs results? Don't you know what happened when you did that last time? You were with the nurse for a week.
Affected my brain.
Right, 3 lucky people have won Polaroid cameras. We're going to tell you who in a moment because we're going to tell you the results of last week's Eights and Overs competitions.
I'm ready, no problem.
Right, we showed you several dates actually, and of things that had happened during the 1970s, and asked you to identify actually either the date, what happened on that day, or various people. The first question actually, we showed you a photograph of Brotherhood of Man, and we asked you to identify them, tell us what year they won the Eurovision Song Contest, and what was the title of the song that they won it with. Well, the year in fact was 1976, and the song of course was Save Your Kisses for Me.
Number 2, we said to you on the 14th of November 1973, 2 famous people got married, but she was far more famous than he was, but since he married her, his name has become equally well known. Well, of course, that was Princess Anne and Mark Phillips, Captain Mark Phillips.
Then we showed you this photograph and told you that this famous pop star died in the 70s. We asked you to identify him and tell us which day he died, when in fact it was Mark Bolan, and he died on the 16th of September 1977.
Number 4, we asked you, on February the 16th, 1952, something very important happened which led to a vast celebration 1 year in the 70s. What happened and what did we celebrate? Well, of course, February the 6th, 1952 was the date when Queen Elizabeth acceded to the throne. In 1977, we celebrated the Silver Jubilee. 1977 was the Silver Jubilee. Fabulous week. I enjoyed that.
And then we asked you, what was the name of the scandal that caused the ruin of this man?
There will
the
be
scandal
no whitewash
that caused...
on this Watergate.
Exactly, there you are, answered for you, and of course it was President Nixon.
That's right. We also asked you this date. We showed you the 1st of January on your screens, 1973, and we said, what happened on that date? What happened on that date? Well, there you are. Mark Spitz jumped in a swimming pool. Or we joined the European Economic Community, the Common Market.
Yes. Well, we move on. Obviously, Mark Spitz is the answer to the next item.
Almost
the
certainly.
question was, what man holds the record for winning the most Olympic gold medals? Sorry, don't be bash heads there. And he was
There he is
Mark
again.
Spitz from America.
Lost a bit of weight since the last picture.
That's right, and
actually.
he won 7 medals swimming, all in 1972 at the Munich Games.
And we also said at the same Olympics, Britain won only 1 gold medal. Who won it and for what event? Well, of course, the answer was Mary Peters, who won Britain's only gold medal for the pentathlon.
That's right, and the 3 winners of these Polaroid cameras are Gillian Southworth of Preston in Lancashire, Paul Hoff Grimsby.
No, it's Paul Hoff of Grimsby.
From Grimsby. Commas in the wrong place. Kill that, Secretary. And thirdly, Matthew Draper of Little Downham in Cambridgeshire. Well done to you lot.
Well done, you two, as we said.
And have pencils and papers ready because there's lots of competitions throughout.
I've
got the camera here.
No, did I? I've been out there changing.
I know. Right.
Where's she gone? Where's
Here
little
she
Luce?
is.
Come on,
Right,
Luce.
come on,
let's head
Luce.
back
This
over
is
there.
where I lift you on
Do
the
you remember
desk.
Lucy Kay that came in last week and
Lucy.
delighted us with a couple of her
What's
poems?
okay?
And we had so many of you wrote in and said, couldn't she come back and do some more? So we said, all right, why not?
you go, Luce.
What's you going to do this week then? What's it called?
After the ball was over.
Is it? Great. Looking forward to it.
Oh, the film.
Off you go then.
Hang on. To that one there, probably, where we can see you properly. That's it. Go on then, Dolly.
After the ball was over, she took a glass eye, put up his teeth in water, shook from her hair the dye, kicked off his leg in the corner, stripped off her false nose and all. Then what was left to buy is after the ball.
Must be out of script for your material, I think, for next week. Oh no, it's Smello. Smello's here.
Oh.
Diane, to meet you, the public relations officer, said I've been informed by security that a malodorous person called Smello has once again entered the studio area. Please make sure he doesn't appear in vision and lower the tone of the programme. I don't know where Smello can be.
Oh. Come on, Lucy, come with me. Oh, dear.
This is what they want. We all know that this is what they want. Oh, when the pies come flying in. Oh, when the pies come flying in. We're gonna get the phantom flinger.
Ladies and gentlemen, as incredible as it may sound, we have in the studio live, in person here, this morning himself. Yes, you're right, none of that. Will you gasp with joy? Will you show with excitement? Will you cheer with pleasure? Yes. All three, by golly, this and more, because it's the man whose name is on your lips. It's the one and only. You know who, dare I say it? Mr. Incredible, the man you've been waiting for. You've seen him before, but now you're going to see him again. Mr. Wonderful, Mr. Personality, Mr. Right, Mr. Clean. Get off. Just get off.
All right, Chris Tarrant, just doing my job at all. Just trying to introduce
Hello and
people.
welcome to Flan You Folks, the programme where we say hello and welcome to Flan You Folks, the fun family show where the kids get all the big prizes and the mum and dad get all the fun. As usual, we've got the man of mystery in black, the Phantom Flanflinger. He'll be handing out the fun and his lovely assistant Flanderella's ready with these big prizes. Tonight we meet the Elms family from Warstock, so let's introduce them to you. What's your name, my darling? Kathy, okay. What about you? Norman, okay. And what about you? Kevin. Okay, well now, I'll explain the rules to you briefly, Kevin. I shall be asking you a number of questions. Sorry?
My name's Darren.
Yes, fine, just testing. If you get them right, the lovely Flanderella will give you armfuls of prizes and your mum gets a custard pie and 2 buckets of water. Sorry about that, but you must have some prizes. You can't have custard pies. Alas, if you get one wrong, you still get loads of prizes, but your dad gets the pies and the buckets of water, okay? Oh, and if you drop any of the prizes, this noise sounds. There you are, OK, we want you all to have some fun. There's lots of prizes to be won. Let's just check again. Now, you're Darren. This is Norman and Kath. They're your mum and dad? Yeah. Absolutely right! Is right, absolutely right. You are Darren, they are Norman and Kath. Well done, well, that's one to you. Well done, Sancho, well done. Plenty of prizes, sorry about that. OK, number 2. Now, number 2. No, don't look around now. Number 2. Now, what do you like at history at school? Not OK.
You don't do history.
You don't do history. Well, never mind. This is a music question anyway. Now, I should be asking Porky, our very expensive resident pianist, to play you 3 short extracts from well-known tunes. OK. Now, can you name them? Porky, the first one, please. OK. Take your time. Think about it. Number 2, please, Porky. Bit more tricky that one, I think. And number 3. OK, any ideas? Don't know. Have a guess? No, sorry, wrong, completely wrong. They were A Life on the Ocean Wave, Flight of the Bumblebee, and Oh, We Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside, arranged by Rimsky-Korsakov for Reginald Dixon on the Mighty Wurlitzer, with accompanying glockenspiel, harpsichord, triangle, and Cope and Bus tickets. Sorry, your dad's getting all the fun. You're just getting the boring old prize. Never mind. Now, number 3, these very famous, celebrated actors are actually going to come into the studio. Now, they're going to come in the studio, they're going to act out the name of a famous television personality. 2 very famous actors, I think you recognise their faces. Now, they're going to act out the name of a famous television personality somewhere or other. 2 famous actors acting out the name of a famous television personality. OK, now have a good look at them. Which famous television personality are they being? OK. OK. Have a guess. 2 men in dog collars. No trousers. No, sorry, Nicholas Parsons, never mind. Number 4, sorry about that, completely wrong, sorry, Father. Now, do you know what is the present population of Outer Mongolia? And pay attention, how much larger is this than the population recorded at the last census in 1952? Do you know the answer to that?
Don't know.
You don't know, quite right, you don't know, nor do I, couldn't care less. And oh dear, the time has beaten us once again. Just as there goes the buzzer, just as things were getting really interesting. Tempest music, which basically means one of the temps has gone home, not to worry, we've had a good time. And with the Elms family waving happily bye-bye, keep waving, Elms family. We leave another family happily landing, flanking boats. Bye for now, bye-bye, 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 bye-bye.
Currently doing very well in the charts.
I say, is where I do this.
No, Bob, not now. Please, later. Oh, he's so keen. Anyway, let's move on with a little bit more music. A quick burst of the new single by Cozy Powell called The Loner. Single there from Cozy Powell from his album Over the Top, and that one was called The Loner. And welcome, Cozy.
Nice to be here.
Nice of you to come along. And Cozy, you brought with you this snare drum, sticks, and a stool, which we're going to give away to an up-and-coming drummer who watches Tiswas. How are we going to do this?
Well, we're going to run a competition and have some auditions for people to write in and send cassettes and all the rest of it. And the prize is going to be the snare drum and the stool and the sticks, which is what I started off with when I first started playing.
Yeah.
And from there, you just go on. Develop into a big kit and just work your way up from there.
Let me just explain, actually. We are going to be holding auditions up and down the country anyway, so if you've got any particular talent, singing, dancing, impressions, anything that you think would be good on Tiswas, and of course especially we're looking for good drummers, then write into our usual address, which is Tiswas, ATV Land, Birmingham, B12JP, and we'll be holding auditions up and down the country, so it doesn't matter where you live. Please write into us. And it'll be a lovely prize for an up-and-coming drummer,
and there's another thing as well, if the gentleman that wins the prize can also come along to one of the Rainbow shows, sit behind me and watch me play through.
Oh, that would be fantastic. That would be a smashing
nice for him as well.
Lovely. Let's come over to the kit and see how the snare actually fits in. Fits in, obviously, you know.
Right, that will actually go right here, which is called the snare drum. This does most of the work.
Yeah.
But all the rhythms and stuff are done by the feet. So you've got the bass drum, which is is that one there, and the hi-hat, which is that one there. So you're keeping time with your hi-hat, and the bass drum keeps the main beat, and the snare does all the work. But of course, what you have to have is syncopation between your hands.
Yes.
So this hand is doing something different to this foot, as this foot's doing something to this hand, and this stick's going to be in this dog's mouth in a minute. And the basic thing is, these are tom-toms, which make different sounds and different notes on the piano. This is just keeps the beat all the way through. Most disco records have the bass drum just going all the way through. The hi-hat keeps the time.
He's very fascinated by this.
Does he want to play?
I'm not sure. I don't think he's that hot, actually.
We'll just leave
so,
it out for a
Cozy,
moment.
I mean, that seems incredible. You've got to be doing different things with both hands, different things with both feet. I mean, how do you start off? You know, would you start off getting right? Just getting.
Well, the best thing to do is to start that one first, and then go on to the hi-hat, and then bring the left down. So you've got a rhythm going, and then you can move your right hand over to the right cymbal, and the left foot's going as well. As I'm talking, and then you go around the cymbal. And you generally make a lot of noise. That's basically it. Thank you.
How old were you when you first started learning to drum?
Well, I was 12. I joined the school band, and they threw me out because I was too noisy.
Did they?
So I guess they were right.
And how long does it take before you can sort of get all this together? I mean, is it obviously how hard you work? But
well, 2 or 3 years you can get it basically down, and then when you go from a little kit like this, you go on to a big kit, which is what I use on stage with Rainbow, my own solo thing, which is 2 of these bass drums and a lot more tom-toms, a lot more cymbals, and you just work your way up from there. But it takes a few years.
When you come back, actually, we're going to ask you to bring your full kit back and do a sort of special drum thing for us.
Right.
Obviously, meet the new winner. But right now, will you just sort of play us out to the break?
Sure, we'll do, yeah.
Right.
You sure you can stand the noise?
Yeah, off we go. This chap here is a bloke called Ronnie Garr, and he's from Record Mirror, that wonderful paper that voted us in the top 10 TV programmes. So we've got to give him
anything we can get our hands on.
Oh my goodness!
This is what they want.
This is
what the readers want to see.
This is what they want. Right. Okay.
Who needs New Musical Express?
After
Every sort of
this,
stuff
you're
in the
going to give
paper.
us a nice review, or we'll have you back for more. Okay, Ronnie,
Let's see
get
with
on
egg on
with
his face. I say. What do you get if you cross the M1 with a tortoise?
I don't know. What do you get if you cross the M1 with a tortoise?
Run over! I don't wish to know that.
I say. What do you get?
Stuff, eh? This is what they want. This is why they pay their license fees.
I say. What do you get if someone hits you over the head with an axe?
I don't know. What do you get if someone hits you over the head with an axe?
A splitting headache.
Bad.
Boom! That was the worst thing I ever heard.
Minutes writing some of this.
Right. Well, a couple anyway. Last week I set a competition to win one of the top albums around at the moment, the Pink Floyd LP. And I asked you to write and tell me what are the names of the members of Pink Floyd. Well, there's David Gilmour, Nick Mason, Richard Wright and Roger Waters. And the 3 winners are...
Great, Jamesy.
Roger Waters. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm reading the answer here.
Virginia Waters.
Do you know what? Somebody sent in the winner's name, got it absolutely right, and haven't put their name and address on it.
Fail. Sorry about that. Neil Mackinson of Barnsley. Neil Mackinson of Barnsley up there in South Yorkshire. Well done, Neil.
And Morag Doby.
Put that in the winner's bin.
Oh, I don't know. Morag Doby of East Lothian in Scotland, and Paul Stevens from Solihull, Welsh.
I'll have to read this one out as well now. It seems to be David Corset. I don't believe that. David Corset from Liverpool, because I had it in my hand and he probably spotted his card, you see.
Oh, I see.
So
David we'll have to somehow get on the
now.
What?
Anyway, the next...
This is where all the children sit in the privacy.
Broadcasting.
These are the artists who appear in the programme.
Tours of children.
Have you got a birthday to read out? Happy birthday, Paul Forsyth, the Babington Mains Drive, Edinburgh. Thank you very much. Now, over here. Come over here. Would you keep quiet, please? Keep quiet, please. All over here, children. Up here, this is really interesting up here. Let me show you now. All up these stairs. Really enjoy this. All up these stairs. Come on now, all come this way. This is really fantastic. You won't believe what goes on up here. This is really sensational. People come from all over the world to have this lovely scene. Come on. Come on now, all up here. In easy. This is really sensational here. Come and have a look here, will you? Come on, all come here, children. Come on. All of us, we come and see it. This is where the whole thing. You can't come in here. Like, you know, in here, you see, now, take the notion of these people. They're supposed to be working, that's what it is. Now, this is the control desk. And up here, you see all this over here. All this, it's all right. You carry on, pal. Don't worry about it. All the way over here, see, there's all these monitors here, things like that. This is how they work out what the cameras are doing. And these are all the controls. You want to press a button, anything like that. Anybody got any questions you want to ask about anything? What's your question? That brings water in here, love that. That brings all the water up in here.
I'd just like to say
Comes up here like this. Have you come round here like this? This is the director, this is the don't panic lady. And over there is another lady. Listen, it's good to have two ladies, see, because you get a bit worried about what's going on. She makes the tea. I can't have she makes all the tea, the cakes. That's what it is. It's all right, you carry on, don't worry about anything. Now, come on, let's go down with something else. It's just really exciting, isn't it? Come on now, walk down here.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Tony Gray.
What happens after that? All right, now they're going to go down to the splits. That's not enough. It's going to keep going. Okay, now watch. Nazarov will use Alamanov as a counterweight to lift himself up into a planche. It's unbelievable. There it is. Oh. Incredible. Alamanov, Nazarov, no question, the best in the world.
They are Vladimir Alimanov and Vladimir Nazarov.
Sure, that's the right pronunciation.
A lot of you wrote in actually asking for gymnastics. That was for Ruth and Janet Shaw of Abergavenny, Neil Cooper of Great Yarmouth and Roger Walsh of OB in Leicestershire. Don't forget, if you've got a particular sport or sporting moment that you want to know about, and incidentally we talked about Andy Gray earlier on. Andy Gray actually is on the show talking to us next week, so look forward to seeing Andy again. Here's our address for all those great moments of sport that you want. It's Tiswas, ATV Land, Birmingham, B12J. Please mark them great moments of sport because we do get an awful lot of mail. And postcards only, please.
Yeah, let me just also tell you that Amy Stewart will be here a little bit later on. But,
well, that's good.
So rude, she'll go. Well, but during the week, we've been filming in Yorkshire, and I'd like to say hello to all of you that we met up there in our travels, including John and Louisa Hunt of Pontefract, Melissa Dunn from Bedford, and we also came across this very nice 18th century cottage. But when Bob and Spit went in, it wasn't quite as cosy as it had first appeared.
Hello? Hello? Anyone home? Okay.
Right, here we are again. Elvis, you want to say hello to a few people, don't you?
Yeah, just want to say hello to the lads I saw at the station there. The lads from Scarlett's Bar, Paul, Nige, Stay. And, well, they're only young lads. I don't think they'd ever been in a bar. Okay. And I want to say hello to my son, Matthew, as well, because it's the only time he ever watches this programme is when I'm on.
What do you mean it's the only time he ever watches it?
No, I'm sorry. I tie him in his room, so because he keeps wanting to turn over to the other side.
Listen, you're bringing up that child all wrong, absolutely all wrong. Anyway, last week Clash were here and they set a competition asking how many tracks were on their latest album. In fact, it was a trick question. It looks like there's 18, but in fact there were 19. So there's two winners of the signed albums, and who are they, Elvis?
There's Stephen Ashley from Down and Market, Norfolk, and Anne Kay from Fife, Scotland. I bet you never get Joe Strum to show his legs on TV.
No, you wouldn't. Well, now we move on once again with competition time. So switch on those brain boxes, all of you, because I'm going to give you details of what you have to do for this week's 8s and Overs. Right, all of you who are over 8, watch very carefully because we're going to tell you the true story of Dick Turpin. Watch very carefully, there'll be questions at the end. And Dick Turpin's not quite such a nice fella as you might have thought. Well, I'm just giving you a sign to keep talking. Obviously, upstairs they haven't quite got the film together, but we're going to actually tell you the true story.
I didn't get to have my ear be picked up by the ears.
Well, later on, it'll all be there later on, Elvis, don't worry. And by the way, you make sure that child of yours watches in future. How old is he?
Well, he's 5 and he's very got discerning taste, you know. So
well, you're going to have to train him properly.
On October 16th, 1738, Britain's most famous highwayman, Dick Turpin, was brought here to the condemned cell inside the castle at York. He was due to hang early the next morning, and he spent his last few miserable hours in here, very cold, very bare, and very uncomfortable. Although Dick Turpin ended his life on the gallows at York, his original criminal activities began many, many miles away. Dick Turpin was born in 1705 near Saffron Walden in Essex. After a very brief education, he trained to be a butcher, but by the age of 16, he was already established as a thief. When he set up his own butcher's shop, all the deer that he sold had been stolen from local forests. Then he got tied up with the Gregory gang, which became feared and famous for their violent and savage attacks on people in isolated houses. The gang would force its way in, then tie up and threaten the members of the household till they revealed where their valuables were hidden. The gang used all sorts of brutal and savage methods of torture to get the information from the people concerned. And there's one very well authenticated account of Turpin himself leaving a very old lady screaming on the hot coals of her fire before she'd tell him where her money was hidden. They were a thoroughly nasty bunch. Their activities so outraged 18th century London that every attempt was made to capture the gang, and one by one the members were caught and executed. But somehow Dick Turpin always just managed to escape. It was during this period that he became a highwayman. But in 1737, during an ambush at Whitechapel, his fellow highwayman, Matthew King, was shot, and Turpin had to flee from the law, but now with a reward price of £200 on his head. He escaped to East Yorkshire and quietly set up business as a horse dealer. Now, of course, all the horses that he sold were stolen. But for a while, the business went well, until one day he made a particularly stupid but fatal mistake. On October the 2nd, 1738, the thoroughly unpleasant Mr. Turpin was walking through a crowded street when he spotted a cockerel. Out of sheer malice, and for no other apparent reason, he levelled his gun and shot it. When a local labourer reprimanded him, Dick threatened to kill him. He was reported and arrested, and then his other long list of crimes began to come to light, and he was taken to York Castle. He was convicted and sentenced to death. He spent his last night shackled by this waist girdle and handcuffs with shears around his legs. The next morning he was hanged outside the city walls. This is Dick Turpin's grave in St George's Churchyard, right in the centre of York. Probably the most famous of all the stories about Dick Turpin, the highwayman, was his epic journey from London to York. But in actual fact, it wasn't Dick Turpin who made the journey at all. It was another gentleman called Swift Nick Nevison, another highwayman some 60 years earlier. And Nevison himself also ended up on the gallows. But Dick Turpin was far from being a romantic hero. He was a robber, a particularly nasty murderer, and a horse thief.
You're not such a nice chap as you might have originally thought. Anyway, the three questions for you, 8s and overs. Polaroid cameras 2v1. Oh goodness, oh no.
Tricky this morning, coming down the A1.
Pretty quick though, eh?
Zip.
Pretty good.
Lucy, where are you, Luce?
Right, let me just tell you the three questions that you have to answer if you want to win a Polaroid cameras. First of all, where did Dick Turpin open his butcher's shop? Where did he open his butcher's shop? Secondly, what was the name of the gang that Turpin joined up with? What was the name of the gang that Turpin joined up with? And thirdly, what was the name of the highwayman who did the actual ride to York 60 years earlier? What was the name of the highwayman who did the actual ride to York 60 years earlier? Entries to our usual address, Tiswas, ATV Land, Birmingham, B1 2JP. Postcards only, please, because we get so much mail these days. Thanks very much.
Amazed, actually, how unpleasant. He was a really nasty bit of work.
Not
He was
nice
my
chap at
hero.
all, not the sort
Come
you
on then,
take
Luce.
to Mum.
What's the next poem entitled?
I love
pull your
these.
hat back so we can see your little chops. What's the next one called? It's called what? OK, then poise yourself over there. That one with the red light on. Right. Off you... hang on, we'll just wait for happy birthday to clear. Right, off you go.
Barber, barber, shave a pig. How many hairs to make a wig? 4 and 20, that's enough. Give the barber a pinch of snuff.
Is that it? Great.
Fantastic. Oh, you got them out of a book. Sounds like a good
OK, let's move on. Last week, under-8s. We're just coming up to the winners, actually, up by the ears. Last week, under-8s, if you remember, we showed you a clip from Alice in Wonderland, and we asked you which animal blew the trumpet, what birds were used as golf clubs, cruel is, what birds were used as golf clubs, and what role did the playing cards have in the scene from Alice in Wonderland?
Play croquet.
Why, yes, Your Majesty.
Let the games begin!
Yeah, we saw that. The white rabbit was the one that blew the trumpet.
And the second question is, what birds are used as golf clubs? That'll be coming up shortly. What birds are used as golf clubs? And there you are, they're flamingos.
Yeah, flamingos being used as golf clubs. And you can see them just in the background, actually. We asked what role did the playing cards have in the scene. Well, they'll be coming up again in a minute. They're right through the scene, in fact. But if you watch them carefully, they're the Queen's Guards. Which animal blew the trumpet was the white rabbit. What birds were used as golf clubs? They're flamingos. There they are again. And it was the Queen's Guards that were
There they are,
playing
they were
cards.
just behind
They were behind.
Right.
So there you are.
Runners
That's
up pulled
last
from
week's
this
underage
bin
competition.
here, who will receive Tiswas t-shirts are Emma Ryan Evans Morris, very long name there, from Anglesey in Wales.
Had to be with a name like that.
Didn't it? Stuart Clegg, who's 7 years old and comes from Stalybridge in Cheshire.
And Jason Ridgway from Skelmersdale. So there's two up there. Jason Ridgway from Skelmersdale. Well done, Sunshine. Can we repeat that, actually? Postcards only, please. I don't quite
Yes.
have that one snuck through. Shouldn't really
Well, actually,
be
it is an envelope stuck down, so you can do that if you can't
Okay,
find a
then.
postcard.
All right, then. But the actual winner, the first one up by the ears in the traditional fashion, looks like this.
Oh, he looks happy.
Great. What's your name?
Gary.
What's happened to your... Let's have a look. Just sort of... You've lost a tooth or something. Just gone. It's just gone around the back. Whereabouts are you from?
Wales.
From Wales. You can't pronounce it either. What's the name of the village or the town? Can you pronounce it? Is it one of those very long ones that I can never say properly?
In the script, it's got Haverford West. Is that how you say it?
Oh, I can say that. That's one of the easy
It's
ones.
not an
Haverford
easy-
West. Can say that one. But whereabouts are you at school?
First up.
Where?
First up.
That's right in the middle, is it? What's it like?
Nice.
It's nice. Is it? What's nice about it?
If they go down
Not because the sums are easy. That one we had a couple of weeks ago. What's nice about it?
because you can go out to play a lot.
You know how to play a lot.
That's not
That doesn't have much of an education. You got playing all the time, do you?
No.
But most of the time. Lots of the time. Okay, anyone you'd like to say hello to on probably that one up there. Hasn't done a fat lot all morning.
My daddy's friend Denzel. All my friends in school. My nanny, Gabba.
And everybody else you know.
And my cousins.
Okay, fine. There's one happy one anyway.
Yes.
Try yours,
Right,
Sal.
off we go with the second winner.
Ouch.
Hello, you okay? What's your name?
Anthony Piru.
And where do you come from, Anthony?
Scunthorpe.
And what school do you go to?
Caroline Juniors.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Is it? When did you go back to school? Last week?
Yeah.
Have a nice Christmas.
Yes, thank you.
Lots of nice presents.
Yes.
What's your best thing at school, your favourite subject?
Maths.
Maths? Not very many people say that. Are you good at maths?
Yeah.
Well, that's probably why you like it then. That's great. Anyone you want to say hello to?
Yeah, my mum and dad, my grandma and granddad, all the girls who work at Norfolk Hotel, and Auntie Maureen and Auntie Pauline, and all the other friends that I know who are watching.
Did you tell all your friends you were going to be on?
Yeah.
Oh, great. There you are. Well done, Anthony. Right, the
Okay,
third
and the
winner.
third one, suspended by the ears, looks like this. What's your name? You having a nice time? Are you enjoying it? Which bits do you like best? Apart from the cartoons, I always like the cartoons. Which bits do you like best?
I don't know.
You don't know. There's
Like
so
all
many
of
to
it.
choose from. Sorry, head in the way.
Have you ever won a competition before?
No.
Haven't, so this is your first competition you've won. Aren't you a clever girl then? You told all your friends you're going to be on Tiswas?
Yeah.
Were they all jealous? Did they all say they'd like to come along?
Yeah.
They
Did
did,
they?
you see,
Didn't
yes.
really, did they?
Loads
So
of
we
people
don't
want
do
to come to
that.
Tiswas. There
That's
you
a
are.
silly game.
Who do you want to say hello to, Helen? Any friends?
All my friends at school, my grannies and granddads,
You got two grannies and two granddads, have you? Two of each.
uncles and aunties, all my
have.
cousins, and all my friends at school.
Great,
Okay,
great.
easy.
Let's see what you've won then,
Let's
shall
see
we,
what
Helen?
prizes you got.
What a lucky girl you are today.
The
Well,
huge
stand
fluffy
back here,
torches.
darling.
Some rather unruly props I just threw at me.
Yes,
so,
you've all got one of these. You've got one of these as well, Anthony. We'll give you yours afterwards, shall we? Otherwise it's going to be a little bit confusing. Right.
What have we got? Oh, the new Bruce Thompson LP. That'll be
Oh, there you go.
There are
Pair of
socks, cabbage, all the usual.
Oh, yes.
gear. What
Have
else
that
have
for
we
your
got?
Sunday lunch tomorrow.
That's quite nice. This is a Dr. Dot, but I quite like them.
Yes, keep you happy
actually,
on
all
the
sorts of nice
train.
games. That's nice. Snakes and ladders, Ludo.
Yes.
It's a black belt in Ludo. Lemonade.
That's
All
the
the old
journey
favourites.
back.
I haven't heard that joke for years. Smurf LP, painting set.
That's not much of an LP to me.
Giggling, you are. Stop laughing. Stop ridiculing the prizes. You can't.
Keep going.
Standing there with your banner. Sorry. A Mickey Mouse watch. That's quite nice.
They're
A
nice.
rather attractive
Yes. Why are you
case.
handing them to me? I haven't won the competition.
And a nice little pair of pants. So shall we put the little pair? Oh, he's gone.
Where's he gone?
I'll put them
Oh,
on
he's
you.
hugging his teddy.
You'll do,
Look
but you've got to give
at
them back
that.
to Henry.
Hugging
Right,
his
nice
teddy.
to have the three of you on the programme. Take your prize away as you go. Get on! Right, well, we actually showed you our next artist. We showed him about 18 months ago. Since then, we've had absolutely no requests whatsoever to ever see him again. Here he is, it's Bob Blackwood with Mule Train! This is what we want!
Mule Train!
very much. Nice to have you back on the show. Let's have a quick look at this, actually. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see the tray? Look at this. It's unbelievable. This is the stuff. This is what they want. How can we possibly follow Mule Train, but with more mules in Ben-Hur?
Whoa!
Fantastic. You probably saw that over Christmas, actually. One of the greatest films I think ever made. Certainly the most amazing 16-minute, the complete version of that extraordinary chariot race is exactly 60 minutes. There's about 3 minutes of that. We got a lot of requests to show that. Amazing. I'm still giggling about Bob Blackman, actually. He's got sort of a little tiny bit of blood. We must emphasise, actually, please don't try that at home because it doesn't half hurt. What a morning, though, eh? We've had Elvis Costello, we've had Cozy Powell, we've had Bob Blackman, celebrity after celebrity joining us on the show, and, of course, Amy Stewart in just a couple of minutes' time. But now my very special guest, one of the most patient and kindly men, really, that I think I've ever met. He's marvellous with animals. He's quite simply the greatest trainer of sea lions that the world has ever seen. May I introduce my special guest? Give him a big hand. It's Shut up, Amy Stewart. It's El Barco. Good morning, El Barco. Could you take that ball off your nose for just a second, El Barco? You what? You won't answer any question until I give you a fish. Do you think that all the years of working with sea lions has in any way affected you? You won't answer till you've had some more fish, sorry? Do you think in any way it's affected your diet? I mean, has that changed? You must have some more fish. It has. It's mainly fish. I see. Well, there you are. That's really interesting. Thank you very much, El Barco. Nice to have you on the programme. Actually, you're all quite experienced with animals. Do you want a bit more? Sorry. You're all quite experienced with animals on the programme. As you know, I've spoken to all sorts of people, all sorts of extraordinary creatures on Creature Feature. But what you probably don't know is Sally actually used to work as a very successful circus trainer with a dog act. This is true, actually, before she became a top television personality. Hello, Sally. Can you come in? Just do a quick link into the next item, will you? And I'm convincing little mime. You won't introduce anything till you've had some dog food. Okay. Yummy, yummy. Woofo, woofo. Keep eating. You what? You want a drink of water? Sorry. Okay. Right. You want a drink of water before you introduce the next item? Okay. Wait, what? It's what? It's your next great pop interview. Who's the guest? Amy Stewart.
Amy.
Oh, thank you very much for inviting me here.
It's nice of you to come along and see us. The last 2 years have been quite incredible for you, really, haven't they?
They have been absolutely amazing.
I mean, you've sold over 7.5 million records throughout the world. And was the sort of high spot appearing on the Royal Command performance in November?
Yes, I think it was a very, very high spot for me because it was the first time I think that they've ever had so many pop artists in the show.
Yes, that's true, yes.
So I was very honoured.
Yeah. Where did it all start for you, though? How old were you when you decided to go into show business?
I got really serious about it when I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
And I was training in my hometown, Washington, D.C. at a school called Workshops for Careers in the Arts. And at this school, I learned acting and singing and dancing, and I stayed there for like 5 or 6 years. And then I went on to college and continued to dance, and I've just always loved the theatre.
At that point, were you more sort of pursuing the dancing side of your career?
Yes, the dancing side. When you are training to be a dancer, there's not time to do anything else, you know. And that's why I was so surprised when I started to sing.
How did you get into singing then? Did somebody just ask you to make a record or what?
Basically it all happened when I joined a theatre group and started doing Bubbling Brown Sugar. And we came to London with the show. And I got to be the assistant director and choreographer of the show, and also doing one of the leading roles. And that's when I started to sing a lot, where my producers, Barry Lang and Simon May, saw me in the show.
Yes.
And I did a demo tape for them, and it's been up and up ever since.
Now, also, apart from the dancing and the singing, you have enjoyed an acting career as well, haven't you?
Yes, yes.
And how did that happen?
Well, I was learning it while I was in this particular art school, and there's acting always when you do a show.
Yes. Yeah.
So you just build on your career as far as working all the time and building on it, and then getting parts here and there, and little bit parts in movies and stuff like that. But I enjoy anything.
Is there any particular part of your career that you'd like to pursue more than the other? Or at the moment, the singing's going very well, I know, but do you want to do more?
I would love to do a really, really great film now, you know, and really put all of my energies into that. But of course, I want to do everything.
It's hard,
and
isn't
I'll
it?
try to split myself in half to do a bit of something and a bit of something else. It's very difficult, but I want to do as much as I possibly can.
The clothes that you wear are fantastic. It's on the stage up with beautiful colours and everything like that. Do you design those yourself?
No, I don't design them. I have 2 costume designers, as a matter of fact. One lives here in London, another one lives in Germany. And we sit down over lunch or whatever and discuss designs and colors and what we want to portray in the image and the particular song we're doing a costume for. And usually one costume can go for several songs.
Yeah.
And we try to make them as different as possible.
Well, you certainly seem to succeed there. I've got a photo actually of your latest album, Paradise Lost, which is, in fact, you've got a double A side out at the moment, Paradise Lost and The Letter, which we're going to hear in a moment. Incredible photo there of one of Amy's outfits, if we can just have a look at that. And in fact, also on that photograph, you can't quite see at the moment, there's incredible eye makeup that you've got on. All different colour stripes on your eyelid.
Yes.
How long does that take to do? It's fascinating.
That was the first time I did that particular way, and it took me almost 3 hours. And then I had to do it again for a photo session. It took half the time.
Yes.
So once you get used to doing what you do, and I draw little diagrams on paper and get the colours together, then it doesn't take too long. But that one really
it looked very effective.
It was a monster, yes.
Now, I know later on in the year you're trying to sort out your Amy Stewart Roadshow, aren't you?
Yes.
What's that going to be?
Well, it's not going to be a disco show.
No.
I would like to think of it as being a total show, total theatre, total artistic work. You know, it will encompass dancing, singing, a bit of acting. It'll just be a very, very good theatrical performance, a very good theatrical show.
Yes.
And I'd like to get as much into it as I possibly can without going over the top. Or, you know, making sure that I give the audience as much as I can possibly give them without giving them too much.
Well, I'm sure they'll look forward to that. Amy, we've got to... That's enough, you lot. Amy, I'm going to ask you to sign your album, Paradise Bird. And there's a competition. If you'd like to win a signed LP, then write into us, telling us what number in the charts Knock on Wood reached for Amy last year. Entries to our usual address, which is Tiswas, ATV Land, Birmingham B1 2JP. But now we're going to have our resident dancers dancing to The Letter.
Magic work there of Pan's Grannies, our resident dancers. That's about it really for this week. Thanks very much for Amy Stewart to join us. Thanks very much for Elvis Costello for coming in. One thing I haven't done actually, if you remember right at the beginning of the programme, I showed you this week's family quiz. Let's have a little look at that again with the answers this time round. I said to you, an unhappy boy went into a cafe asking for a glass of water, but he wasn't thirsty. Now the cafe owner bent down under the counter and then suddenly popped up again wearing a crossed out, terrifying mask and letting out a blood-curdling scream. He went. The boy paused, said thank you ever so much, thank you very much.
Just like that.
And left the shop. OK, what's the answer? The answer in actual fact is that he had hiccups. And the two things you can actually have for a cure for hiccups are either a glass of water, especially if you drink it out of the wrong side of the glass, or a fright. And the bloke behind the counter gave him a fright. So if you got that, well done, good work.
Lovely.
That's about it, really. Thanks very much. Give us a quick burst, Bob, just before we go. Don't forget Andy Gray joining us on the show this week, and on the show this week, on the show. And also, of course, Terry Jones and Graham Chapman from the Monty Python team. So all sorts of special guests this week. OK, that's plenty. Well, that's about it, really. See you next week. I've got a couple of pies. Anything, got any ideas what we can do with them?
Yeah!
Oh, no! Oh!
Anybody's here.
Oh yeah, I tell you something. I think you'll understand when I say that something. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. Oh, please say to me, you let me be your man. Oh, please say to me, you let me hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand.
When I touch you